This is case study number 3 presented by Chen. And first up we have our null hypotheses, and then the hypothesis, sorry. The null hypothesis states that mu for all treatment conditions will be the same, will be equal, and the alternative hypothesis states that mu among the 3 treatment conditions will not be the same. The degrees of freedom that I used to calculate out critical value were 2 and 155, and the critical value was 3.06. Next, I calculated S total, and after plugging in the relevant values, I found that to be 311.42. SS within is the sum of scores within all the treatment conditions, and that turned out to be 287.41. SS between is SS total minus SS within, and 311.42 minus 287.41 is 24.01. Degrees of freedom total was found to be 157. Degrees of freedom within was found to be 155. And degrees of freedom between was found to be 2. And I can check that my math is correct, because degrees of freedom total is equal to degrees of freedom within plus degrees of freedom between. So 155 plus 2 is equal to 157. Then I calculated out variance, and variance between was found to be 12.01. Variance within was found to be 1.85. And at this point, I ran out of space on the board. So next up is calculating the actual F statistic, the F ratio. And that F is equal to variance between over variance within. Plugging in the relevant values, that is 12.01 divided by 1.85. So F is equal to 6.49. Now, because 6.49 is larger than the critical value, we reject the null hypothesis. So our statistical statement would look like F, parentheses 2, 5, is equal to 6.49, comma, P is less than 0.05. And eta squared equals 2. Now, eta squared is the effect size, and eta squared can be calculated by SS between over sum of squares total. Now, that is 24.01 over 311.42, which equals to 0.08. So then effect size eta squared would be equal to 0.08. And that is the conclusion of case study 3.